Alright, what's going on guys? We're back again with another video up on the channel, and today we're going to be doing a good old tier list. Yes, tier lists are fun. It's the first time I'm ever doing this. I just wanted to do one because why not? I don't know. For some reason, I just thought this would be a cool idea. So we are here today to do a tier list of the 3rd year anniversary units. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to like down below if you do. Make sure to sub to the channel notification bell to never miss out on an upload. Also, if you have any video ideas you would like to see me do in the future or whatever, make sure to comment them down below and I'll look at them. But without further ado, let us hop into the video. Alright, we have the good old tier list here. We obviously have Z tier, S tier, A tier. We have all the tiers, including good old D tier. Also, I chose the color white for this just because any unit that ends up here is just as bland as the color. But yeah, also, I just now realized that Gogeta Blue is here. Why did I put... But anyways, let us begin with the tier list. Now, disclosure, of course, with every single tier list video you will ever see, this is an opinionated list. Everything you will see in this video is just my personal opinion, my takes on all the units that have come out during the anniversary. I would put the EX units in here, but I've not really used the EX units. I've not really seen much, and at that point, the video would just take way too long. So yeah, without further ado, let us start off with the first unit. I guess we'll just start off with Ice Shenron. Ice Shenron, he's an interesting one. I'm gonna be honest, him and Nova, I'll probably rank them first, to be honest. Well, maybe, I don't know. Him and Nova I haven't really played like at all, really, so I don't really know like much about them, so I can't really say much about them. But from what I've seen of them, either facing up against them, the very little I've used them, and from videos I've seen and all that, they seem good. They seem good. It's just, I think they're probably gonna end up being maybe even the worst out of like everyone here, to be honest. I would say honestly, Ice Shenron maybe even just is straight up the worst out of all these Sparkings. Let's not count Gogeta Blue, alright? But yeah, like, I mean, Ice has some nice things, like, you know, he has a counter against strike cards. His green card, his blue card can do some decent damage, especially once you get the counter off. His damage is like okay, you know, it can be pretty good at times, but overall it's just okay. His tanking is okay as well. It's not really the greatest. I would just say he's a decent unit overall, but he's just not really the greatest. So we'll put him in B tier. I don't know, I'll probably be changing the spots around, like, I don't know, but for now, starting off, we'll put Ice Shenron in B tier. And I guess we'll move on to Nova. Nova, again, I haven't really used him much, but he definitely seems better than Ice. Like, he seems like he can actually do some pretty good strike damage. Tanking, again, isn't really the greatest, but he does have some utility in the fact that his green card can be a way of stalling time and a defensive, you know, a way of defense as well, because he has a barrier and can combo off of it. His main ability is actually really good, especially if you really know how to use it, because it locks both you and your opponent in, destroys all your cards and your opponent's cards, and it gives you card draw speed. You also get your vanish back too, and I think you get key. I don't remember, but if you really know how to use that main ability well, like, Nova probably feels like really good at that point. But I mean, overall, I mean, Nova is definitely good. I would definitely say he's better than Ice, but I don't know if he's that much better. So we'll probably put him, I'll put him in A tier for now. How about that? I think I want to save the LFs for last. So we'll skip the LFs and we'll move on. We'll move on to Kefla. Kefla's interesting. I haven't really used her much, surprisingly, actually. At least I've used her more than these guys. But Kefla seems definitely like a unit that's actually not that easy to use, because of the fact that she wants the opponent to vanish, to be able to get like a ton of extra buffs and all, like make use of like her vanish restore. I think she gets like extra damage, or I don't even know. Yeah, so whenever the enemy dodges an attack, she gets 20 ki, she gets 20% damage, she restores a portion of her vanish gauge, and she also draws one new card if you have 3 or fewer. So you really want the opponent to dodge your attacks, but it doesn't, it's like on the paper it sounds like it's not that big of a deal, but in action it can definitely be pretty tricky. So yeah, I mean, overall, Kefla can definitely do good damage as well. She definitely wants to use at least one strike or blast card to get, I think she gets like a 50% damage buff or something. Yeah, she does. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, she can do good damage. Tanking, again, just like the green Kefla, isn't really her forte. But overall, I would just say she's probably around this tier. I don't know. All right, we'll move on to Vegito Blue next. How about that? Vegito Blue. Before I even say anything about him, he might just be here already, because Vegito Blue is insanely good. He literally does everything. He can do good damage, he can support, he can tank pretty well. He just has so much utility. Just overall, Vegito Blue, I think, was just designed very well. Of course, they gotta make Vegito good every time. The fact that his ultimate like restores his vanish gauge and it gives him a ton of buffs upon activation as well is just crazy, because I've had situations where I've just thrown out the ultimate just to get my vanish back, and it actually works out in my favor. And then if you happen to land the ult, I mean, it'll do a pretty good amount of damage. So overall, this Vegito is just exceptionally well designed. He is definitely worthy of being in the S tier. All right, I guess we'll move on to the LFs. We'll move on to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he is good. He's definitely very good. Overall, I think he's a well-designed unit. He is a defensive type, which means I think the main problem about that is just because defense types usually, their stats are hindered at that point, at least their offensive stats, which means most of the time defensive types don't do as much damage as you would like them to do at times. Now, I will say, just because he's a defense type does not mean he hits weak. He can actually hit pretty hard still. On top of that, he can tank pretty well. He has quite a bit of utility in terms of being able to remove the opponent's buffs, destroy their cards and all that with this green card. He can also nullify their special cover change. He also has multiple ways of going type neutral, getting card draw speed. Just overall, he's a very well designed unit. Now, with all that being said, where would he place on this tier list? He obviously, bare minimum, he's S tier, but I'm actually really thinking about whether or not he's like Z tier. I don't know. I'm like really tempted to do this or just this. I really don't know. I think I'll do this for now, but I'm very tempted just to do this actually. Whatever, we'll stick with this for now. All right, let us move on to the next unit, Corrupted Zamasu. So this guy is pretty disgusting. My man Zamasu can hit so damn hard. Like, if you get caught in a combo as guy, you are just dead. I just gotta say, his ultimate is maybe even the single, like, is probably the hardest hitting ultimate in the entire game, at least in my opinion. Just overall about Zamasu, he's a very good unit. I do have a couple of issues with him, mainly the fact that he can't tank, which is not really a massive issue. I guess it makes up for the fact that he just does so much damage. But the other main issue I have with him is the fact that he doesn't have blast armor on his ultimate, which I just find it to be really stupid, because the fact that literally every other anniversary unit that has an ultimate has blast armor except for him, and he's an LF unit. Like, why? I get it, they were trying to balance him just because probably like his damage and everything else he does, but I personally think they still should have just given him blast armor. But that being said, he's still a very good unit. He can hit so hard. He does have some defensive utility in the fact that he does lower the enemy's ki as they combo him. He also has a broken ability of destroying your opponent's entire hand when they die by him. And also something I commonly forget about him is the fact that he can actually give death buffs as well, which is just insane. And then also the fact that he heals once he's below a certain HP threshold for every card he uses. It just, overall, he's just a disgustingly good unit. Now, with all that being said, is he better than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? My personal opinion, because just like I said in the beginning of the video, this is an opinionated list. I think that I kind of like Gogeta a little better. You could make the case that Zamasu is just better than Gogeta. I feel like I've seen more people say that he's better than Gogeta, which I can definitely say the case, and I won't disagree. Zamasu is very good. Like, if you were to make a solid case for him being better than Gogeta, I wouldn't go against it. But at least in my personal opinion, from my personal use of both units, I personally feel that I like Gogeta at least a little bit more than Zamasu. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is an opinionated list. But anyways, the tier list I think is looking pretty good. So now we are moving on to the most recent units of the batch, which are the BoJack Unbound characters. God, man. I still find it weird that they did the BoJack movie for the second half of the 3rd year anniversary after releasing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Corrupted Zamasu. We go to BoJack. Like, what the? I mean, personally, I don't mind because my boy Gohan gets more respect, you know? But anyways, let us start off with Trunks. Trunks is a good unit. I would say just my overall thoughts on Trunks is he's just an overall solid unit. He can do a ton of strike damage. He can do quite a good amount of special move damage. He can get card draw speed. He gives death buffs. He has decent defensive utility, mainly when he cover changes, but overall I would just say he's okay at tanking. His green card's really good because it destroys all of his own cards and it randomly draws him 2 new cards, so it's great for combo extensions. Also gives him ki as well. So yeah, with all that being said, Trunks I would just say is a very solid unit. I think honestly I'll probably put him in A tier still with all that being said, because I definitely don't think he's better than this guy. I think Vegito Blue is just hands down just better than all these units. I think I'll probably do this. I think Trunks is probably, at least out of everyone in A tier, I think Trunks is probably the best out of them. You know, I'm kind of tempted to do this. I don't know. I really don't know if I want to do that. I'll leave it at this. I don't know. Personally, me, like, again, I've used Kefla more than the Shadow Dragons, but I mean, Nova can be really good too, but I don't know, man. Nah, you know what? We'll keep it at this. We'll keep it at this. It's just, I don't know. It's really close, I would say, for me personally, between these two. Like, Ice, I would definitely say no competition, but I don't know. We'll just leave it at that for now. All right, the boy himself, BoJack. BoJack is good. I was actually considering holding off on this video a little longer just because of the fact that I feel like I need to use him a little bit more to fully understand just how good he is. Same thing with Trunks. Trunks, like, he's good. It's just I've played with him more than, like, a little bit more than BoJack, but BoJack's definitely like the type of unit that you really need to fully understand his whole kit and everything he does. So yeah, with that being said, BoJack is very good. He's a defense type, which means, you know, off the bat, his offense stats are probably going to be hindered immediately. Now, with that being said, can he do damage? Yes, he can do good damage, especially once he transforms. Just overall, he can tank pretty well, especially if you are able to do if you're able to do a combo and all that, use a couple strike and blast cards, since he does get sustained damage cut as he combos. Afterwards, he can tank pretty well at that point. He has multiple ways of healing. I think pre-transform he heals with his green card, and post-transform he heals with his main ability. He supports as well. I think he supports songs from movie characters and powerful opponent characters, I believe. I don't remember exactly. He is a transforming unit, but he's very different in the fact that he doesn't transform by just pressing his main ability, but he actually has to land his Awakened Arts card to transform. Now, that being said, they do make it pretty easy for you to land it, because the fact that his main ability literally does everything in its power to make sure you land that attack. Because I'm pretty sure it reduces the enemy's vanish gauge to 0. He nullifies special cover changes. Like, at that point, it would be so hard for you to miss it. Now, with that being said, is it still possible for you to miss the attack and not transform him? Yes. I've actually had matches where my opponent has hit me or tapped me out of it, and therefore I just don't transform with him. And I mean, it's not that he's trash pre-transform. He can still be pretty good. It's just, see, I think that's my main complaint with BoJack, is the fact that there can be instances that if you use his Awakened Arts card incorrectly, you can miss the attack and therefore not transform with him. But other than that, he's very good. So with that being said, where would he place on this tier list? Again, I need to play with him a little bit more, but personally, I feel like he probably place this here. Probably S tier, right behind Purple Vegito. Again, I need to play with him a little bit more, but personally I do think he's better than Trunks, and I do think he's just better than all of these characters. But my boy Purple Vegito is just very built different. And now we have one unit left. My boy LF Gohan. Before I even start saying anything about Gohan, let me just quickly do this. I just gotta say, hands down, Gohan is just the single-handed best character out of the entire anniversary. That being said, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one. Alright, all jokes aside, Gohan is actually, I would just say, the best character out of all of these. Like, I just don't understand, like these two compared to Gohan. Like, a 2-star Gohan, 3-star Gohan, I would say is just maybe even better than these guys at 6 stars. I don't know. Either that or he's just on a similar level, which that alone just tells you something. His kit is just very well designed. He, like, even pre-transformed, he can do a ton of damage. And for a revival unit, he can actually tank, like, decently well, even pre-transformed. Like, literally, they gave him everything. He can, like, do a ton of damage. He can be decently tanky at times. He even supports. Like, what more do you want from him? Just overall, he's a very well-designed unit and has easily become my favorite unit in the game. But yeah, with that being said, I think we're done with the tier list, actually. I'm just looking through it just to see if maybe I would change anything. I think it's fine, though. Yeah, I think we're done here. So here you guys go. Here's my complete personal tier list of the 3rd anniversary Sparking units. But with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like down below if you do. Make sure to sub to the channel and notification bell to never miss out on an upload. Also, check out my second channel link down below if you're interested in skits, parodies, animations, all that stuff. Also, check my Twitter link down below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one.